Hello, and welcome to In Case You Missed It, Black Audacity Style. We will bring you up to speed today on last week's news and hot topics that you may have missed. I'm Lawanda Morris, CEO of Black Audacity Magazine, and your host for this evening. Today, we will be discussing topics including Ren, Georgia's first African American mayor, the recent rise in flu cases. We'll also discuss in breaking news a university VP that commits suicide after being bullied. So pour yourself a drink, grab a snack, and let's get into it. In political news, it's the second year of the 2-year legislative term and an election year for our government. Now, that means any congressional bills that did not pass last year could still pass this year. U.S. News reported that Georgia's General Assembly has convened or did convene on January the 8th of 2024, which consists of Georgia's House of Representatives as well as the state of Georgia's Senate. Now, they have the power to, of course, create, change, or get rid of current laws altogether. On the top of their list for 2024 is whether or not to expand healthcare under the state's Medicaid program. Now, U.S. News also reported that some of the top issues that lawmakers will be meeting about in the state of Georgia over the next 3 months will include, and I'll just name a few, I won't go through them all, but starting with election laws. In election laws, some partisans want the state election boards to have the legal authority to investigate Georgia's Secretary of State, Brad Raffensperger. That's the current Secretary of State in the state of Georgia, and his handling of the post-election results following current President Joe Biden's win in the year 2020, his victory over Donald Trump in Georgia, which of course is ridiculous. Now, they also want lawmakers to be able to remove state attorneys like Fani Willis whenever they feel like it. This all, on both accounts, sounds a bit ridiculous to me, especially since such positions are also elected positions, just like the legislators' positions are. So that would basically amount to Georgia lawmakers who are, again, elected themselves, taking away the voice of the people within Georgia with no formal due process, such as an impeachment inquiry. Now, moving on, mental health is another topic that we are addressing, that they plan to address legislatively regarding recruiting more service workers into this area of focus to serve those dealing with mental health issues in the state of Georgia, in the hospitals, in the jails, and those that are homeless. Now, they also want to raise the pay for such professionals that they're able to recruit into this line of work, all of which I think is a great idea. The one thing I agree with them on, I also hope that this is not, however, meant to simply be a substitution for the additional need of gun reform in this country to prevent school shootings, because this issue is not just about mental health. The problem of mental health in this country is also about gun violence. Lastly, Georgia could become one of the states to have social media restrictions for children under the age of 18. Now, what that would mean is they would need, or those under the age of 18 would need parents' permission to create their own social media accounts. I'm not sure how all of this is going to play out, but we will do as we usually do, and we will keep you posted should this or any of the other pieces of legislation that I mentioned pass. Now, in Rennes, Georgia, they have made history by swearing in its first African American mayor. Can you believe it? In 2024? Now, David Hanna was sworn in on Tuesday, January the 5th. Fox 5 News in Atlanta reported that Hanna was previously a police chief at the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office, as well as he served as a member of the local, or the Rennes County Council, for 4 years. He also made history in both of those roles as well. So he's not new to making history. Hanna says his goals as mayor are to bring new businesses into the city, to invest in more housing, and to lower crime rates, all of which sounds like progress. All of this sounds like progress from his election to his plans. It also sounds like it's things that were long overdue. I'm still happy to hear this story, still happy to hear that progress is being made in the state of Georgia. And I want to say congratulations to David Hanna. Continue to be great. Now, in some more political news, former President Donald Trump is, of course, fighting a ton of court battles. I'm sure you all have been hearing a lot about this. There's so many, it's hard to keep up with. But in the latest, he has a immunity claim in Jack Smith's prosecution against him and others for allegedly trying to steal the 2020 election from current President Joe Biden. Now, Trump's lawyer, well, for me, first of all, as a lawyer, this argument that he has complete immunity sounds pretty ridiculous to me, as well as to others who have been voicing their opinions. Now, Yahoo News reported that during a hearing at a federal appeals court on Tuesday, January the 9th, Trump's lawyer, whose name is John Sawyer, made an argument that only a president who has been impeached and removed from office, so not just impeached by the House, but also removed by the Senate, could be criminally prosecuted. Yep, you heard me right. And that's for any crime that said president commits while in office. Any crime. This logic suggests, at least in my mind, that he could literally murder someone while in office. And if the Congress does not impeach him first in the House and then remove him in the Senate, he could never be charged with murder. He could never be held accountable for taking someone's life criminally. Now, does that sound more like a king or a president to you? I know what I think, but I would love to hear what you think down in the comments. I'm just saying. Also, this trial for Trump, which is also one of many, is set for March the 4th, but it could be further delayed and postponed, which I think is one of the tactics of his lawyers, or it could even find its way in front of the U.S. Supreme Court again. And just so we're clear, if Trump's ridiculous immunity argument were to win in this particular case, I don't think it will, but let's just say if it were to win, this would place him and other elected presidents above the law. This would place them into king status. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the United States did not fight for its independence just to go back to having a king. In health news, I know you have all heard the phrase "New Year, New Me," right? Well, Mental Health First Aid flipped it this year to say "New Year, Same Me." In an article on their website, they listed ways to celebrate a new year. First, they talked about finding self-acceptance and ignoring the inner critic and realizing that things don't change overnight. It helps to make a list of things you are proud of, even if it's something that's small. Write it down and practice saying positive confirmations about yourself to yourself in your head, of course, or out loud if you prefer. Secondly, create a support system. Surround yourself with people who love and accept you and bring you comfort, peace, and inspiration. Research from Health Information National Trends Survey shows that people who have social support from family and friends are more likely to make healthier choices and have healthier outcomes, such as reduced stress. We all want that, right? And third and finally, set your goals. When you are ready to do so and don't feel pressure into making plans and goals right away, take your time, do your homework, do some research, come up with a plan that works best for you. These are great tips, and I know that they work because I have been practicing these sorts of things for years. Now, you can embrace and love yourself and still take and make the steps to improve your life, but know everything happens when it is supposed to, the way it is supposed to. Now, U.S. News reported that 38 states have experienced high cases of influenza. There have been at least 14 million illnesses, 150,000 hospitalizations, and over 9,000 deaths from the flu in the U.S. The CDC reported flu symptoms are similar to COVID symptoms, which include dehydration, wheezing, severe headaches, muscle aches, fevers, and shortness of breath. Now, if you are having any of these symptoms, please go seek medical attention right away. One preventative measure that you could take now is to get the flu shot. It's not too late. NBC reported that anyone over the age of 6 months can get it, and it usually takes up to about 2 weeks to build immunity. So remember, stay home if you're feeling sick, cover your mouth and nose when sneezing and or coughing, avoid touching your face, and wash your hands often to try and stay healthy during this flu season. And remember, people, COVID is still out here in these streets. And in breaking news, this is a devastating story. Antoinette Kanda Bailey, Vice President of the Student Affairs at Lincoln University and HBCU in Missouri, died by suicide on Monday, January the 8th. She was only 49 years old. Now, Bailey was terminated from her job on January 3rd by the university president, John Mosley. USA Today reported that emails sent earlier that day revealed that Bailey struggled with mental health and accused Mosley of intentionally harassing and bullying her. Now, one of the alumni from the university said in an interview that they believe race did play a role. In fact, played a huge part, and that most of the people at the university believe there was some specific bias in targeting from Mosley to Bailey. Mosley is now on leave, and many questions are being asked, including why was a white man overseeing a Black college? This is so real, guys, and it really hits home. For anyone who still wonders why we have to have Black this and say support Black that, here's yet another reason, sad reason why. We have to create safe spaces and places for Black women to thrive, climb, be creative, speak out, have a voice, lead, build, grow, prosper, contribute, heal, and just be who and what they were created to do and to be. I would like to send my condolences to the Bailey family, to the friends, associates, and students of VP Bailey. To my Black women out there, we love you, we support you, and you matter. Your life matters. It always did, it always will. I'll report more on this in the state of Black women who seem to be under attack more in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Well, that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed today's segment of In Case You Missed It, Black Audacity Style. We also hope you watch our MLK Day In Case You Missed It special. If not, check it out today. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and to turn on those notifications so that you can see more Black Audacity Magazine YouTube content show up in your feed. Now, I'll see you back here next week, same time, same place. I'm LaWanda Morris, CEO of Black Audacity Magazine, where we are unapologetically and unambiguously Black Audacity. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.